What does your brand need to do to make the transition into the metaverse? For years, the online world has been so key to society's way of life. How do you plan to maintain your relevance in the immersive future? What does your brand need to do to make the transition into the metaverse? Going into the metaverse might feel easy right now, but only because there's a lot of hype going around. It can be more complicated than it seems once you start to take a closer look. Brands need to ask themselves how they should get started, what is the metaverse, and what will that mean for them? There are several new technologies out there that brands should be curious about, but they need to follow a few simple guidelines. Target their customers. Consider the competition strategy. Find new applications for the technology and plan how they're going to enter the market. And of course, they must maintain balance.
Many people think that the next big thing for the internet is already well underway, the metaverse. They say it's almost here. When companies and the media hype a space, it's important to see whether reality can match up with the hype. However, if this is the meta moment, that is, if people want to embrace a shared collective space, it's safe to assume that a lot of companies are wondering what the metaverse truly is and whether they should be a part of it. Brands are now increasingly considering how to take full advantage of AI, but where to start can be unclear. The concept of the metaverse is nothing complicated and shouldn't be confusing for anyone. Put simply, the metaverse is anything digital on the internet that's persistent, immersive, 3D, and not happening in real life. Metaverse experiences offer us the opportunity to play, work, connect, and shop, and we can use real money or these virtual currencies we're creating. It is also perhaps a misnomer to say the metaverse as if it were a monolithic, connected, or even interoperable universe. It is not. Each company's virtual world reflects different business and technical specifications, meaning that each one offers a different set of features and functions. The metaverse is more than just a sci-fi term to describe multiple realities and experiences. It signifies the dawn of a new immersive landscape. It is also a mistake to think of the metaverse as an interconnected or at least interoperable internet. It isn't. Each entity that creates a virtual world does so with its different access, membership, monetization rights, and formats of creative expression. This results in varying business and technical specifications, having differing privileges to the game. The term metaverse is used to describe goes beyond simple virtual reality and can feel more immersive than ever before. A small number of businesses already impact the landscape, with entertainment and gaming companies leading the way. Games like Fortnite from Epic Games have made virtual environments more commonplace and sociable due to their mainstream appeal. Virtual worlds can often provide a more inclusive and rewarding environment for people to enjoy and communicate with others. Newer game platforms like Roblox allow users to create immersive worlds and in many cases generate revenue by in-game microtransactions. Decentraland is an entire 3D virtual world owned by its users. With their 3D modeling and building skills, people can create attractions that others can visit, which they then charge for. All transactions are handled securely on the Ethereum blockchain. MetaVR and Unity are creating standalone engines for AR and VR, which can be used by big brands, gaming studios, and VR/AR tool developers. The immersive world of the metaverse also has a lot of potential for businesses. Virtual products have a strong consumer pull and just might be what you need to move your company one step ahead in the game. From training future surgeons to rolling out product demos to retail employees, there are plenty of business applications AI can be put to use for. NVIDIA, as an example, has invested in VR simulations to better improve their manufacturing, logistics, and testing. By doing so, they can reduce waste and accelerate better approaches to business. Microsoft is positioning its cloud services to be the glue of the next generation of VR, Sims, and such as Mesh. They're using Mesh to provide avatars and immersive spaces, which will then tie into current collaboration environments like Teams and Time. Post-COVID hybrid or remote working environments enable companies to connect to their people and customers in new ways. This will likely be even more relevant in creative industries like design, advertising, or PR for companies still waiting on the sidelines. Each brand needs to find its place and balance the risk-reward equation. To explore and investigate how technology is evolving, we must be aware of the latest companies and what they are doing. By looking at them for inspiration and as test cases, we can see how it is possible to use them in our organization. Have you seen all the game-based branded experiences around the metaverse? The brands are harnessing what's available to them and putting their products front and center in these virtual reality experiences. Nike is a world-renowned brand and has been very successful in leading the charge in aggressive virtual goods. It's filed for patents in creating retail environments to sell those goods. The acquisition of Artifact, NFT, token in August 2018 was a milestone in the company's growth, as it will enable them to create virtual trainers and collectible furnishings for the future metaverse. The commercial potential of the metaverse is increased even more with the adoption of new behaviors such as social commerce, buying products and services directly from social experiences. Social commerce is on the rise. It's projected to be worth more than $36 billion by 2021, following the growth patterns similar to China. Responding to this, many social media networks are looking for opportunities to profit from the intersection of where people meet and buy, both online and in immersive VR experiences. Social media and e-commerce are changing, causing both industries to become very intertwined. It seems that the 3D world of future social media landscapes is telling us that everything can be bought regardless of whether it's on an internet platform or in the real world. It seems that virtual showrooms, fashion shows, and dressing rooms are about to have the potential to shift from being fringe experimentation to being mass adopted, and people aren't just selling physical goods. In fact, Sotheby's recently announced its Metaverse gallery for curated virtual art, housed in Decentraland. New business models for influences, virtual goods, like NFT, and e-commerce in virtual worlds will become more important in the coming years.
Here are some things that brands can do right now to maximize their success on Instagram. You'll need to think about how much time your possible customer spends in the metaverse and plan your strategy accordingly. Brands with a younger target audience probably can't afford to wait out the metaverse. Who are your target demographics, and what behaviors are trending with your current and prospective consumers right now that are indicators of how fast to move into the metaverse? Check in with your competitors and see what they're doing. Take the opportunity to talk about when peer companies post things in the metaverse, like a showcase event that takes place at an executive leadership meeting. So much of the space today can be confusing when concepts are being described in words that are foreign to us, for example, NFT or blockchain. Can we, for these topics, create a champion who can offer approachable and tangible examples to make these topics easier to understand? Look for applications. See how the metaverse can help your company pursue new ventures and help you work towards long-term goals like sustainability. Plan your entrance. For any emerging technology like AR or VR, it's important to start thinking about how your brand should be integrated. The sooner you know, the better, so you can start reaching your potential customers through their screen reality. What steps might they take to ensure that you're properly exposed to the metaverse? Keep your balance. If you are already in it, prepare for any new space to involve both risk and reward. It may be super unpredictable and lack general standards. Brands and entrepreneurs should also keep an eye on new ways to tell their stories. If the metaverse lets us have a more diverse range of creative possibilities, we should be excited about being able to create experiences that cover a wide variety of touchpoints, from acquisition to support and everything in between. And someday soon, you'll be able to move from the real world to the virtual world seamlessly.